This is not normal, Jordan.
It's not normal, but
being out in the snow and it's...
But then, you know, if you can only operate in normal conditions, you're not going to be a particularly useful person.
You can argue a case for and against. I'm saying, looking at the snow coming down...
Yeah.
And the snow is coming down.
Can you see the benefit of... Let's say there's snow coming down, so it's a bit uncomfortable.
There is snow coming down.
It goes in your ear, a little bit on your eye. But the courts are completely fine. Do you get a sense of, I've actually done something... I didn't cancel, I actually got through that. I didn't just,
Oh, go jump on that one.
I was saying, I'd give G an example. I mean, for G, this is horrendous conditions. You could probably just take one of the snowflakes, that one there. If that fell from the sky, G's whole day would be finished. So, which I understand. It's it's not comfortable for him, and maybe he can get a bit cold. His neck gets a bit cold, or maybe his ears get a bit cold. But I think we've got a responsibility to toughen our juniors up. So we're sending them out into tournaments where you might have to play like this in a tournament. What are you going to do if all your lessons have been cancelled in these conditions? You're going to go on court thinking, this is not tennis conditions. Oh my God.
Well, I think you're tough regardless of the weather conditions. I think it's more about toughness on court rather than toughness to do with weather. I mean, weather plays a part and conditions play a part. But I think it's overall about your mental toughness and being able to win the match.
It's a nice deflection, Lorna. It's a nice deflection.
Despite negative, snowy, bitey, cold conditions.
Yeah,
I don't need to learn that lesson, but...
Does a junior need to learn that lesson through potentially playing in adverse conditions?
Absolutely.
Could they benefit from it?
Absolutely, but I still respect G's wishes in choosing when to have a lesson in ideal weather conditions and when not to. He has earned the right to make that decision.
I agree with that. And is that for him? So you're looking at it. So you've got G here, and you've got a student here, a young budding star that's coming up. G feels a bit uncomfortable, and he's done. So you're saying, okay, that's fine. Forget the star that needs that lesson, but G's earned that right, so he can.
Yeah, great. I do agree. I think he's earned the right. He's definitely earned the right to pick and choose and refuse. It is you, who is head of coaching, tennis coaching at Radlett, that has to be the visionary and the person to inspire the students to handle such difficult conditions.
Which I guess I'm doing now, aren't I? By explaining my point. I mean, all right, maybe most of this is I enjoy ribbing G, so that's the main crux of it. But why not make a point while I'm here?
Well, the point is, how do you help your students deal with negative conditions such as these?
There's so Rafa Nadal is famous for, Uncle Tony was Rafa's coach, his uncle, and he is famous. Nadal is one of the toughest mentally on the tour. So Uncle Tony's famous for doing things like getting rubbish tennis balls specifically just so that Rafa had to deal with that, or going on a dodgy court surface. Because if you only pick the nice tennis balls and the nice surface, the nice weather, then you're not actually instilling any kind of strength into your mental psyche and into your tournament preparation. So, and a lot of the problem with our juniors is that a lot of them have to go in and feel totally that everything's going their way. If something doesn't go their way, sometimes it's tough to still pick yourself up and play your best tennis.
So isn't key to create a...
But this is an example where now, you're toughening you up, Lorna. You're now going to be ready.
You don't need to toughen me up.
You're going to be ready.
Don't even go there,
when
Jordan.
you get home this evening, you're going to sit down thinking, I've earned this bar.
Don't even go there.
I trained.
Doesn't even work.
I trained
with me.
hard, and
I didn't need toughening up, and I'm certainly
you know what?
capable.
G will be at home with his feet up watching a bit of cricket,
I
thinking,
told you, it's G's prerogative.
I could have, but my leg, my back,
I can play in any conditions as long as I learn how to slip safely. But I think I do understand the message you're trying to impart on the juniors, but I think mental toughness comes in many forms. One is dealing with weather conditions, another is dealing with the court surface, another is dealing with how the tennis ball has affected in terms of these negative weather conditions.
Thank you for
But I
agreeing with me.
also, yeah, but I don't think G has to change his whole approach to teach the students how to become mentally tough.
Yeah.
I think key here is setting up a program where the students empower themselves and are able to develop their own mental toughness based on their own individual strengths and weaknesses.
And I've been helping G. So there's an example last time where he was driving in, and there was a tiny bit of rain. All the other coaches were coaching. There was a tiny bit of rain, just starting to speckle down from the sky, so I noticed that he was texting his lesson. So I purposely texted that lesson and said, "Oh, we're all here coaching. It's absolutely fine. You'll be absolutely." So they turned up. She was not happy, but that was an example.
Well, no, because
a really positive intervention on my part.
But he has a right to he has a right to do as he sees fit, just as he also gives you the right to decide how you see the programs here being run as director of tennis coaching. So you have to also afford G the same leverage, space and rights as you would afford yourself.
Yeah, which I do.
Good, so we're in agreement there,
Yeah.
Jordan. I think what's key is creating a program to develop mental fitness for the students, not just in terms of weather conditions, but also in terms of how to play those key match points to secure a win every time they go on court. So, and with that, I think the snow has stopped.
Yeah.
Amazing.
There you go. So imagine we cancelled. Imagine I did a G on you. Now look, the sun's out. You would have been at home, putting your feet up, looking out the window and saying, "Oh, it's sun now. Wish I was playing."
I have nothing to say with that. Shall we begin?
Let's play.
Okay. Well done, Jordan.
Thank
Thank you. I love your sense of humour.
Thank you.
There is a message
black.
beneath that says a lot about Jordan, but
There is, and I do, obviously I've been ribbing G, and it's what we do. We do it out of habit, and we do it out of fun.
Yes.
I have seen G here coaching in ridiculous conditions. So,
oh my goodness, are you giving him a bit of
yeah, there was once
leeway
it was raining so heavy that there was like it was literally you walking on court and it was up to his ankles in rain. And I felt bad. I felt like I wanted to lend him some money. I thought if he's coaching in those conditions, maybe he's he needs some. Because obviously there are some conditions where the tennis is not
doable.
Yeah.
Where else? So there are some weather conditions that are even not doable for you, Jordan.
So if the ball's not bouncing, if the ball's just going and not coming up, that's probably not a good.
You've got a good point. If the ball doesn't bounce, you're not going to have much of a
you could try
game.
and do volley to volley, and maybe you can get around it. But.
Or maybe do indoor tennis
Yeah.
of some sorts. But well, that's very kind of you to give G a bit of a.
Well, I'm very, very humble, very modest.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Thanks, Jordan. Let's move on. Okay.
Sure.
Oh my hands are so